Alright, everybody in their places. You guys ready on that?
Ready on that.
Ready in the blender?
Ready in the blender.
Tenfold. Go ahead and swap me the ass.
Let's get it Fracsim. Hotel wake up call got me getting up.
I'm going to do a quick video on how to test a pressure transmitter, and in this particular video we're going to be testing a Viatran 509 15K deucer. Basically, what you got to keep in mind with this meter, with that 24 volt supply, is it's pretty much like having a portable workstation with you. And one of the things you can do with it, of course, is if you're in the field, say you simulate into a unit, it works fine, and you just want to verify that the pressure deucer is bad before you replace it. You could test it without having to run into a lab or anywhere that has a bench power supply, and you can test it right in the field with the meter you carry with you. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my meter. And the first thing you want to do, of course, is get everything all set up here. So I'm going to be using just a 6-pin flying lead, and the color code I'm familiar with, of course, is the A is red, B is green, C is black, D is white. Hook it up here. And we're going to be needing 24 volts from the meter to power up the deucer. So I'm going to look for the lead that says 24 volts right here. So see that there? 24 volts. So I'm going to hook that up to pin A on the transducer. Now I need to measure current from the transducer. So I'm going to get my probe leads, hook them up to the meter, and ground is the important thing to remember when you're using the 24 volts out of the meter. Ground between measure and the supply is common. So I'm going to be using the positive measure lead only. And this is going to go to B, which is the return current. So now what I'm going to do on my meter, I'm going to go to settings, F5, go to number 3, 24 volts. It says powering up 24 volts. And then what I'm going to do is simply go to 2 for measure, 2 for current. And you see that I've got my 3.843. So obviously this deucer is a little bit out of calibration. And of course we can do the standard test. You can push on the bottom there, make sure she comes up. And it does come up. We can also full scale this thing. At a full scale, if you remember, the pinout that I'm familiar with, of course, is a C also has to be tied to ground. So I'm going to tie C to ground. And if you take D and apply 24 volts to that, it should do that shunt full scale calibration. So I'm going to find my 24 volt lead right there, touch that to there, and it'll do the top end there. So obviously you can see this transducer is a little bit out of calibration.